All right, folks, welcome back inside the janitor's closet. And Josh, a lot to smile about in the last couple weeks here.
Yeah.
You're looking at a 13-3-1 run since week 4 for plus 15.86 units. A little bit of bad luck out the gates, stuck with the process. You got back in the lab. You've turned this thing around, and you are riding quite a hot streak right now, sir.
Yeah, we are riding quite the hawk streak, sir. It's yeah, man. It's been fun. Appreciate. We say it every single time, man, and we can't say it enough. If you stuck with us through the darker portions of the season here, the earlier portions of the season, we can't thank you guys enough because hopefully it's paying dividends now. You guys feel it's paying dividends, and we're hoping that we can continue this roll that we've been on here. So looking forward to we have a big time week ahead of us here. Lots of volume, and we are looking forward to hopefully adding to our total here, man. Let's get it rocking because we got a big show here.
Yeah, we have money on the board as we record this with the Thursday Nighter. Josh has more than a handful of plays that he's still mulling over that you can find at TJC Bets on X or Twitter for those bets to come. And all in all, Josh, we have over 10 units on this slate, folks. It's a big week for us. We're looking to stay hot. If you're appreciating the boys' content, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, leave a comment down below. We appreciate your support. And without further ado, Josh, let's get into this one because it's a big slate.
Yep.
And folks, before we get into this next one, I want to remind you that this is week 7. This is not a repeat video, but yes, we are starting with the Seattle Seahawks once again. We are betting on them for what I believe is the 6th out of 7 weeks. We have some cheese on the board with the Seattle Seahawks going to Atlanta to face the Falcons here, Josh.
Yeah, man. This team we just can't stay away from them. And honestly, there was two plays that I liked in this game, both including Seattle. I actually liked the side for Seattle here, but I actually ended up deciding to go with Seattle team total over 23 and a half for 1.5 units is the play here. And Bryce, listen, I actually think Seattle matches up really well with Atlanta here in this one. Atlanta has struggled to defend the run, and also Atlanta part of me has also struggled to defend the pass at times as well. The other thing that I like here about this game, and I'll try and cut my explanation kind of condensed here, but Seattle's obviously working off of the mini bye here. They obviously we had some money on them in last week's Thursday night football game, a nice teaser that ended up not going our way here against the San Francisco 49ers. Well, Seattle comes off the mini bye, and we kind of were in on this mini buy, angle just this past weekend when we were talking about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who obviously lit up the board for us there. So we had that, and now Seattle is obviously in the same position here. The other thing that I like about this matchup is not only do I think Seattle's matches up really well on offense against the Atlanta Falcons defense, but I also like the pace of which this game is going to go. Both Seattle and Atlanta both rank in the upper echelon of the league in terms of their pace of play. So what that means is there's going to be a lot of extra possessions here for both of these teams. Like the total here is at like over 50 points. There's going to be points in this game, and Atlanta's offense is clicking so much right now that you know that they're going to put up points. That's going to force Seattle to throw the football, hopefully put up some points of their own here. So, and Atlanta's defense, it's not like they are world beaters by any means. So I really do like the situation here for Seattle to put up some points here. I think it's favorable for them. I think they're going to be able to do so against this defensive unit. Not only that, but I also think the game script is going to call for them to throw the ball a little bit more, maybe even than we already have seen Geno sling the rock for us. So he's been doing wonders for our futures bet, man. So we're happy about that. But anyways, Seattle team total over 23 and a half for 1.5 units here. That's how we're kicking this thing off.
Okay, and the next one's the juiciest game on the board this week. It's the Super Bowl rematch coming from the Golden State, Kansas City Chiefs, San Francisco 49ers.
Yeah, man. Listen, there's a couple different angles that we could take here. One of the big ones that anybody's going to look at is obviously Andy Reid is an absolute stud muffin coming out of the bye week. There's just about nobody better in football right now, and nobody better possibly in the history of football who has been able to game plan and get his team geared up out of the bye week than Andy Reid. This guy, I want to say is, oh boy, I'm gonna butcher it here, but I want to say something along the lines of like 14 and 4 on his career or something like that. I don't remember how many years he's been coaching, but anyways, the point is it's very lopsided, his record coming out of the bye week. The other thing I like here, Bryce, is the spot for Kansas City here. They're going up against the San Francisco 49ers defense and hasn't really been able to stop, isn't really as good as we'd like to see them be. They haven't been, and Kansas City, I think, has an opportunity to put some points up on the board here, whereas San Francisco, I think, is going to have a tougher time on offense than Kansas City will, is kind of what I'm trying to get at in this one. San Francisco, we don't know if it's going to be Jordan Mason going. We don't know if it's going to be Garendo going. We don't know if we don't know who it's going to be running the ball there. Maybe it's probably going to be a lot of Deebo Samuel that we're going to see. And then we're going to see probably Brandon Ayuk get shut out of this game because Trent McDuffie's going to be on them all game. It could be a big George Kittle game. It feels like every game's been a big George Kittle game for San Francisco to start this season. I really like where Kansas City's at here. If I look at the injury report, there's a couple of question marks here as well. That's kind of what I also liked in this game. Jawan Jennings, who's kind of emerged as a nice receiver, he's dealing with a hip issue, has logged back-to-back DNPs to start the week. The San Francisco 49ers, an underrated thing that isn't really being talked about right now, their top 2 kickers, not just their top 2 kickers, Jake Moody, who has an ankle issue and missed last week, and then the guy they brought in to replace him to help fill his role, Matt Wright, who's dealing with a shoulder and back issue. They have both locked back-to-back DNPs. They're not on track to play. They've actually signed Anders Carlson, the brother of Daniel Carlson, former Green Bay Packer, who struggled mightily in his rookie season for the Packers last year. They have actually signed him to their practice squad, and there is a very good chance that this man could start for the San Francisco 49ers at the kicker position this week in what is a huge game. So the injuries, coupled with just the overall spot for these Kansas City Chiefs, Andy Reid coming out of the bye, I just don't know why Kansas City necessarily. You could point to Kansas City missing Rashee Rice, but in the Super Bowl rematch, there's kind of not a lot here that I think is different. Like, I think Kansas City, they won the Super Bowl for a reason. I think they're going to win this one as well. +1.5 is the play for 2 units. I don't even remember if I said the play. I was talking so much. Kansas City +1.5 for 2 units. I'm going to stop talking now. Let's go to the next play.
All right, Josh, and our next play is staying out west in Arizona, where the LA Chargers are stopping in.
Yes, this was an early play that we released here on X. So all the more reason we released 3 early plays on X this week, folks. So once again, all the more reason, please, goodness, follow us on X at TJC Bets. Just like that's where we're giving out plays, man. We're giving out plays there. We're giving out plays on Sunday. We're gonna give out plays. We're gonna give out Sundays in prime time. We give out early plays. There's plays all over the place on X for us at TJC Bets. So give us a follow there. Monday Night Football. This is the second of 2 games. Bryce, you're probably going to be dialed in on your Baltimore Ravens. You might not even be. You will not be watching this game. Probably. You're just going to be keeping maybe one eye on your phone, possibly, and watching this out of the corner of your eye. I will be flipping back and forth between your Baltimore Ravens and this game. The play in this game that we gave out early is Los Angeles Chargers -2.5 for 2.5 units, folks. Listen, Marvin Harrison Jr. is actually surprisingly practicing in this week so far to start, which is crazy because the way that concussions have been going, at least in the early portion of the season, especially for these young players, we saw with Malik Neighbors, for example, is they're almost guaranteed to miss the first week after they suffer a concussion. That may be not the case for Marvin Harrison Jr., which kind of does leave me a little bit more iffy, but I'm still very confident in this play here because I don't think it's a for sure thing that Marvin Harrison's going to play. Even with Marvin Harrison Jr. in the mix here, Bryce, Arizona's offense, I mentioned it last week, it feels like very forced. It feels like they're not really flowing very well. Los Angeles Chargers have a decent defense. They're flying around under Minter right now, their defensive coordinator. And then on the offense side of the ball, the matchup just can't get any better for the Los Angeles Chargers here. You're talking about J.K. Dobbins, who's about as hot as anybody in the NFL right now running the football, behind that awesome offensive line, going up against the Arizona Cardinals defense that is about as bad as it gets on the defending the ground game, man. So listen, Los Angeles Chargers are going to be able to control the ball here. I think they're going to be able to do enough defending Arizona Cardinals offense that really just hasn't found its rhythm, hasn't had its rhythm in a few weeks now. And if they lose Marvin Harrison Jr., if they don't have him for this game, it's going to be just all the more out of sync in my mind. We're going to kind of revert back to what we maybe saw last year with this Arizona Cardinals offense, and how tough it was for them to move the ball. So listen, ball control in this game is kind of what we're going with. Los Angeles Chargers -2.5 for 2.5 units. Also, might be looking at releasing the over in this game later on in the week. We will see. I really do like the over. Not yet. We're just going to take the side.
Okay. And big theme for us the last couple of weeks is being able to win our best bet of the week.
Good point.
Back-to-back weeks we've been hitting that, and that's what we're going to be looking at here. Our biggest bet, a 3-unit bet coming our way in the NFC North here, Josh. Detroit and Minnesota.
Yes, sir. This is a big matchup and one that I think that the market has gone back and forth on quite a bit. Some people are in on Detroit a lot because, for obvious reasons, they just came off an absolute pummeling of Dallas Cowboys. Or actually, sorry, that was yeah, they came off a pummeling of Dallas Cowboys. We were on that and we won that one quite easily. That was a no sweater. That was awesome. We got Minnesota -1.5 for 3 units in this one, Bryce. And listen, the spot for me, I absolutely love it for Minnesota. Let's look at this defense for Minnesota here. Brian Flores has that defense flying around right now, and they are blitzing at one of, if not the highest rates in the NFL right now. Jared Goff, when he is blitzed, turns from the Jared Goff that we've seen over the past couple of seasons. He turns into the Jared Goff that we saw with the Los Angeles Rams. That's what we see. So Jared Goff does not do well under pressure, and there's nobody who is better at generating pressure right now than the Minnesota Vikings. Pardon me. The one thing of note for the Minnesota Vikings on the injury report this week, as far as the defensive side of the ball goes, is Blake Cashman, one of their starting linebackers. He is not going to he's not going to play in this game due to turf toe. If we look at the other side of things, the Minnesota Vikings, the reason this number sat at -2.5 for a lot of the week here, and the reason why it went down to -1.5 is because Aaron Jones, even though he participated in activities on Monday out of the bye week, it looks like he actually might not be on track to play. And it was a pretty damning sign when when the Minnesota Vikings traded for Cam Akers as well. So you're looking at Cam Akers and Ty Chandler in the backfield. Now, the reason why I'm not really as worried, because we saw Minnesota Vikings offense look way different without Aaron Jones than when they did with him. The reason why I'm not as worried here is Minnesota Vikings are coming off of a bye week here. Okay, and this offense, I believe Kevin O'Connell, I believe in him as a play caller. I believe in him as a schemer. I think that he has had time now to hopefully adjust and prepare for life without Aaron Jones, at least for 1 week. I think that he knew that Cam Akers trade was going to be coming. Not to mention Sam Darnold in this game, I think, is at home, coming off the bye, is going to have some time to pick apart this Detroit Lions defense that we know has holes in it. Okay, so now you're talking about Aiden Hutchinson not being there. That is the biggest injury in this game. Aiden Hutchinson's not going to be there. Detroit's not going to get pressure, I don't think, or as much pressure on Sam Darnold. Minnesota, he's going to have some time to air out the ball, pick apart this defense, hopefully. I think life's going to be okay without Aaron Jones, at least for 1 week. And to top it all off, Bryce, TJ Hawkinson, the tight end, is probably going to be making his return to the field this week. So that is just another weapon that the Detroit Lions have to defend. Minnesota Vikings are going to win this one at home out of the bye week, -1.5 for 3 units. I'm looking forward to that one, man. And again, kind of like the Arizona Cardinals game, there could also be another release coming on this one because I am really kind of liking the under in this game, to be honest with you, but we'll see how it plays out.
Okay. So there's your best bets. And Josh, now time for the TJC
Ooh.
anytime touchdown parlay.
Yeah.
Uh, I was really between two guys on this one. I love the matchup, as you mentioned, for J.K. Dobbins, but for me, it's hard not to pick this guy for me. I'm talking about Saquon Barkley in a revenge game against the Giants this week. I think they're going to be trying to feed him the ball. I think he's going to want the ball, and I'm going to choose him to get into the end zone this week. Who you got?
Okay, I'm gonna go as long as he plays here. This is well, we'll see. Yeah, we'll see if he plays. There's kind of a little bit of I'm gonna have to go back and forth a little bit, but if he plays, I'm gonna go Brian Robinson, Jr. here against the Carolina Panthers. The matchup is perfect. Washington's gonna put up a ton of points against this depleted Carolina Panthers defense, and the opportunity should be there. We saw that this Washington Commanders offense is different when he is not in the game, when Brian Robinson is not in the game, and they want to give him the ball inside the 5 yard line there, and I think there's going to be plenty of opportunities to do so. If I don't know, should I come up with a contingency plan here, or should I leave it at that?
It's up to you, man. If you want to, we could post it out on X if
Okay, you
B
know
Rob.
what? Contingency plan. If Brian Robinson doesn't play, we're gonna go Malik Neighbors to get back in the end zone here in his return to the field this week against a Philadelphia Eagles defense that is yeah. Well, we'll just kind of leave it at that. Oh, so I guess we'll call it. And the other thing is there's also potential another release. Again, I like the total in that game as well. I think there's going to be lots of points in that Eagles Giants game, man. Yeah, give me Malik Neighbors to get in the end zone there.
Okay, so that'll do it for the anytime touchdown parlay. Maybe we'll lock that in on X when we get the news about Brian Robinson, but we'll assume it's him for now.
Yep.
With Saquon Barkley, if he doesn't, it'll be Malik Neighbors. Last time we had two players in the same game, it hit on the first drive for each team. So that'd be nice.
Yeah.
To recap our best bets for week 7 here, Seattle Seahawks team total over 23.5 for 1.5 units. Kansas City Chiefs plus 1.5 for 2 units. LA Chargers minus 2.5 for 2.5 units. And the Minnesota Vikings minus 1.5 for 3 units. Josh, let's stay hot. Let's stay on a roll. Hopefully some sunglasses. I'll tell you what, the bankroll will be looking crazy if we could get some sunglasses on for next week.
No, yeah, we'll be liking that one a lot, man. Yeah, week 7 here, man. This is gonna be our highest volume week of the year. So, listen, this is the goodest time of any to tail the fellas, man. Let's stay hot and let's get after it. Appreciate you guys all for rocking with us.
All right, folks, thanks for tuning in. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We appreciate you guys. Leave a comment down below. Bet responsibly. Let's have a great weekend, and we'll see you right here next week, next Thursday. Let's do it.